Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Shabby Chic Vintage Fall YouTube collab. I am Teresa from Teresa's Spot for Art. I want to thank our hosts, Annie from Indiana Jones, Dawn from Shabby Meets Bling, Monica from Up All Night DIY, and Kristen from Fifth Sparrow No More. I'm going to turn you guys around and we are going to get started. Today I'm going to be painting some faux velvet pumpkins. So I have out 3 different size pumpkins, a few different colors of chalk paint, and some baking soda. Okay, I'm going to do 1 pumpkin at a time. I have wax paper here as well. So when I do the baking soda, I'm going to do 1 pumpkin at a time, and I'm going to start with the small one. And I'm actually going to start with this really dark color. I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow. And I'm just going to mix. I want to get like an orangey color, but I want this one to be really, really dark. So I'm using this dark color. These are what I'm considering my reds. And I'm going to stick with this color. And I'm just going to take my pumpkins and give them a nice coat of chalk paint. And go around the edges. I'm not painting, I didn't have to paint the bottom. I'm not painting the stems for a couple reasons. First of all, I need something to hold. And second of all, I'm just going to paint them regular later and then embellish them with some ribbons. But I am going to paint both sides. Okay. I'm going to put this aside. Put that in the water. I'm going to get my wax paper and my baking soda. And I'm just going to cover this whole thing with baking soda. And then we're going to put this aside and let it dry. This is why I'm doing 1 at a time. Okay. All right. I'm going to stand it up here and I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to move my baking soda over here. And I'm going to get my next pumpkin. Wash my brush out a little bit. And then I'm going to get some of my yellow. I'm going to mix it with this coral color here. And I'm going to start painting this medium-sized pumpkin. If you notice, I'm not over mixing my paint. I want a new color, but I also want to see the variations in the paint. So I'm not over mixing. Do the edges. Hasn't this been a great playlist so far? If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. And don't forget to watch the entire playlist, comment, share, and subscribe to the other creatives in this playlist as well. This Shabby Chic Vintage Fall YouTube collab. I love collabing with other creators. It sparks joy for me. We learn from each other and support each other, and it is a wonderful environment. So I'm really happy with this color. You can do your pumpkins whatever color you want. Okay, put that aside, put that back in the water. Get out my baking soda. And again, I'm going to sprinkle baking soda on this pumpkin. This is going to have to sit and dry for at least 2, maybe 3 hours. So I will put these aside and then I will come back for part 2. We are working on creating faux velvet wood pumpkins. Now this one, pick up a little bit of yellow, come over here to my red, and see what kind of an orange I can make over here. Now that I've gotten an orange that I like, I'm going to do this large pumpkin. Then we're going to pick up, I need a little bit more yellow. And I'm going to come here and with my yellow and my orange, I'm going to put a nice coat of paint on this last large pumpkin. Oh, I'm off a little bit. Again, I'm not doing the stems because I want something to hold on to. Now, Lazy Susan has a mind of its own today. Oh, look at those streaks. Beauty. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Okay, put my paint aside. Get back out my baking soda and come back. You want to make sure your paint is wet for this. And that you get coverage. Okay, I'm going to let this dry and we'll be right back. Now that my pumpkins have dried, I'm going to take this very soft brush. This is a mop brush. And I'm going to gently brush off, move my paint out the way, the baking soda. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see it. This is giving like a soft, it's so cool, you guys. Soft brush, hardly touching, gently brushing. And we're getting this faux velvet look. If you noticed, I'm holding the brush way up high towards the end. That helps get a little bit of a lighter touch. I have out my wax paper so I don't get baking soda everywhere. And I'm doing a little bit of a light touch. Okay, so now let me fold this up. Throw that away. I'm going to go back to my paint. I'm going to get a little bit of brown. I just need a little bit. I'm probably going to use some of the paint that I have here. A little bit of brown. One of my smaller paintbrushes. And I'm going to paint all my stems. Picking up some brown paint. I'm actually picking up a little bit of this deep red burgundy color chalk paint I had before too. And I'm painting in my pumpkin stems. Okay, we'll put that aside. I love how these 3D pumpkins stand up on their own too. And when I'm done with this and these dry, we're going to add some bows. I'm making my stems a little bit wider. It doesn't matter. It's all going to be covered with bow anyway. See, this stem I'm going to make a little bit lighter so we have some contrast between the pumpkin and the pumpkin stem. I'm going back in here to the orange paint I made before. Now I'm going to let these dry. And I'm going to make a few bows. I have out some sheer ribbon. I have out some of this burlap wired ribbon. And then I have out, these are awesome, you guys. These are trim bundles from Michaels. It's 25 yards of all different kinds of ribbon and rickrack and lace and whatnot. They're really cool. So I'm going to start out by cutting. This is going to be a little one. So I'm going to start out by cutting 4 pieces. And I'm going to cut them all different sizes. Because the little one is going to be little. So we got small, medium, and large. And then I'm going to dovetail each end. Fold the ribbon and then cut from the inside out. So you fold your ribbon in half. You cut from the fold to the ends, folds to the ends. And you can do any kind of ribbons you want. You could skip ribbons. Totally up to you. We're just having fun with it. Okay. I'm going to get a couple of sheer pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing with the brown here. This is a fall bundle of sheer ribbon. It's very vintage as far as I'm concerned. And you can get it in my Amazon shop. The link is above and below. And I think it was 6 rolls of all fall colors. Different oranges and browns and tans and golds. And I think there was a black. All right. So I've got my long ones and my medium ones. Okay. I'm just making piles for now. Actually, you know what I got to do? There we go. I'm going to get my vacuum afterwards and get that cleaned up. And then I want to just get a couple of pieces of this fall trim I have here. Oh, this one will work nice. Or, yeah, this one. Let's get this one. I'm just going to pull it right out from the tie. And this one. Okay. And we need 1, 2, and then a little piece 3. And then we need 1, 2, and a little piece. And then I need a little bit of twine. It doesn't get more vintage than using a coffee can with a hole in the top to keep your twine in and cut it through. I'm going to do the same thing with all these ribbons. I'm going to take them, I'm going to fold them in half, and I'm going to dovetail them. Okay, so I'm going to start with my large bow. I'm just going to take these and I'm going to crisscross. Let me get a string. Put my string down. I'm going to just take these and make a little bit of an X with them. Okay, and go opposite. I think that was my long one, right? And then go opposite, and then a piece of this, and go opposite. Then I'm going to take this all, and I'm going to tie it. You might need to play with your ribbon a little bit to get them to lay however you want. There we go. Put 2 knots. This one's a little bit long, so I'm going to cut it off a little bit. I'm going to cut off my twine a little bit, and then I'm going to separate. So there's my one bow. That's 1. I'm going to get 2. So I'm going to get my string, my twine. I'll lay it down. Oh, fighting with me. Get my large background bow. I get these two. I'm going to put them in an X. Can you see? There you go. And an X. I'm going to get this piece and this piece. I'm going to take my string. I'm going to bunch these all up. And I'm going to give it a tie. Again, you have to play with it a little bit so you can get your ribbons. Before you make it tight, you want to get your ribbon to kind of lay and go the way you want it to. Okay, I'm going to separate these and then make sure that's in the middle and give it a tie and a tie. Pull them out a little bit, and I'm just going to cut my twine again because it's a little too long there. That's my second bow. Oh, I forgot a brown. That's okay. Now I'm going to work on my little one, which will be a little bit difficult because it's little. Takes a little bit of fussing with and playing with, but that's okay. I just want to separate the pieces. And again, I'm going to make 2 knots to hold my bow nice and tight. Oops. And I'm going to trim off these ends as well. All right, so I have my 3 bows. Let's move this out the way and get my pumpkins. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. How cute are these? It's glued down, and you can fuss with it a little bit more if you want, because now you're not holding it with one hand and fussing with the other. And there we have it, our faux velvet looking pumpkin finishes. Turn you guys around. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. And don't forget to subscribe and watch the rest of the playlist. Share, comment, give a smiley face, spread some cheer. And I want to thank my hosts again, Dawn, Monica, Kristen, and Annie. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time.